A while ago, you and your team implemented Asana in your company, on your department, but it doesn't really bring the effects, the productivity boost you were hoping for that it will bring. Tasks are not being processed, the inbox is always overflowing with tasks and it's full, and people tend to still write emails, Microsoft Teams messages, and so on and so on. So at the end, it was an investment and you're not sure if it was worth it. In this video, I'm going to explain to you 3 reasons why that is the case, and also what you can do to solve the problem, to make your team at the end adapt the tool and to make you and your team productive, and let Asana help you with it. So using the tool as you initially intended as a productivity boost. My name is Bernd. I'm the founder of BridgeFlow. We are a leading solutions partner for Asana, and we help companies around the world to get the most out of Asana and to make sure everyone is using it, so the adoption is there. And we've seen it hundreds of times. We've experienced so many failed implementations where we came in and fixed it. And the 3 top reasons and also the 3 secrets on how to solve it, you will get in this video. Here's the first problem and how to fix it. Most users that haven't received a proper training or onboarding for Asana don't really use the My Task list. The My Task list is a summary of all the tasks, no matter if they're in a project or in a list or somewhere in Asana. When they are assigned to you, they appear in your My Task list. And the idea is brilliant. So you will receive an overview of everything that is important to you that you need to work on. Tasks are actionable most of the time, and then you can organize them, prioritize them, and check them off once they're done. The issue, and probably very familiar to you when you're watching this video, is to leave the tasks in the inbox, or recently assigned as it's called in Asana, and then just task after task after task. It's like an email inbox that's full of messages, no one is sorting through it, and how are you supposed to keep an overview? So what we hear oftentimes is that people do not know how to work with the My Task list. The task list is full of tasks, they lose overview, and they say, I have no overview in Asana, there's like hundreds of tasks, all of them are overdue, I don't want to use it. And even worse is when people organize their tasks when they try, and then they organize it by due date. But the issue, and why we would not recommend that, is a due date does not equal importance. And if you just sort it by due date, what you're going to do is you work on 2-3 tasks maybe, but then at the same time, the next day there's 20 overdue tasks, and it creates stress, and it's really not structured. So instead, what we recommend is to start with 3 simple sections in Asana. Sections are basically a way to organize your tasks and to also hide tasks that you don't need in a specific moment. So all tasks that are assigned to you at the beginning go to the recently assigned section. You can rename it and call it inbox, for example, a task inbox, whatever. So once a day, we recommend to look at the list of tasks that have been assigned to you. So you don't collect more than 10 or 20 per day, and this can be cleaned up within 5 minutes. And you actively pick each task and decide, this is important, needs to be done immediately today or tomorrow, it has time, or in the next 7 days, and so on and so on. And depending on that decision, you move it to another section. And we recommend to have a today or important today section, a in the next 7 days section, or a later section to start with. This is a simple methodology that I'm explaining here. You can do it more complex, but to start with, this is how you get people on track. So once you move a task, you will say this needs to be done today. You take the task and you move it to the today section. Then you go back, you look at the inbox and say, okay, the next task, I will look at this in the next 7 days. So it goes to next up or next 7 days, depending on how you call that. And then the next task you check out and you see, this is more like an information or something that's relevant in 2 months, you put it into the later section. And the cool thing is now, if you do that, the inbox is clean. You know, I have processed all the new input, all the new tasks, and now I can focus on the ones that are due today. And I would recommend to only put 3 tasks in the today or important section, and the other sections you discollapse and then the tasks are gone and you can focus on these 3 tasks. Yes, it might sound like a bit, I need to touch every task, I need to look at it, but that's how productivity works. Proactively deciding what happens with this task, and if it's not something you need to do today or immediately, to move it in the right context, in the right section. And that way you will have a laser focus on the 3 to 5 most important tasks, and you can focus and you're not overwhelmed with your My Task list. So that's the first issue that most people have and how to fix it. The second reason is that people do not know of the existence or ignore or just don't know how to work with a feature called Inbox. And if you ask me, the Inbox is the most genius feature that Asana has launched ever. In short, the Inbox is the place where all the communication, updates, progress, so basically everything you would usually put in an email, in a Teams message, or discuss in a meeting, comes together. So what typically happens, and probably also in your company if Asana is not adopted really, is that people might use the task list, they assign each other tasks, they write updates, but they don't read them because they're not looking at the inbox. The inbox is replacing meetings and emails and so on. If you, and that's the recommendation, check your inbox 3 times maximum per day, once in the morning, once for lunch, once in the evening, you will get all the updates, status updates, progress updates, and so on, and you're up to date. And also there's a feature that is called archive a message. So it's really important to understand that updates that you see in the inbox are only updates. Like in Facebook, when there's a red one in the globe, it means there's a notification. You can click, you see the notification, and then you're up to date. It's the same concept in Asana, and people are afraid to archive them because they think then the task is gone or deleted, and that's not true. It's just a notification. And once people have that security, hey, I can check the inbox, I'm informed about everything, and I can even archive the notification, wow, I'm up to date, this will bring so much clarity. And if there's only one feature I would recommend together with the My Task list to really teach your users, your employees about, then it's the inbox. So the second recommendation is focus on explaining and explain the value and the feature of the Asana inbox, and make people process it 2-3 times a day, and boom, you will have so much more clarity. People are informed and then they adapt using it. The third and last mistake that many users do, and our recommendation, is about what Asana and BridgeFlow call conventions. Basically a guidebook, guidelines on how to work together. So most companies that have issues with the adoption of Asana, what happens is they say, let's use the tool, and everyone just starts using it, and then chaos is created. So department 1 creates portfolios to collect projects, whereas the department 2 creates subtasks over subtasks level. So what I'm saying is that the structure might be chaotic because everyone is using the tool different. So what you need is you need to sit down and once and for all decide for one guidebook for a convention list. We in company ABC create projects when, for example, there's more than 3 tasks and more than two people involved. We will use portfolios when and in that way. Our rules are saved here. The documentation about ABC is to be found here. Tasks need to be checked off within a week, and so on and so on. There's a lot of best cases that we can provide you if you're interested, but the point here is that you need a consistent way of using Asana across the whole company. And it's the same as when you onboard a new team on Microsoft Teams and you tell them how it works and how you in the company use the tool. The same should be applicable for Asana. So invest the time in documenting, first of all, deciding how everyone should use Asana. Obviously, you can give enough freedom per department, but there should be some ground rules. And then document them. And in the onboarding, when someone starts new in your company or is new to Asana, provide them with that list and make sure they understand. And then create, for example, once a week, once a month, once a quarter, you create an open Q&A session where people can ask and maybe even challenge some of the guidelines. Then if this is established, you have a common way of working with Asana, and the structure will be the same in all over the tool, and this will ensure consistency and high adoption, right? So let's summarize the 3 points and how to improve them. First one, my task list. Make sure everyone uses it correctly and take away the pain of looking at 100, 200 overdue tasks by explaining that there's a better way to organize and to focus on what's important. Second is the inbox. Make everyone use it and empty it, process it at least 3 times a day, and show them that it's not a big issue to archive a message. It's actually good. Once you read something, you react, you comment, and you archive. That way people don't feel overwhelmed by the messages. And third is you need a clear guideline, a clear convention list, making sure that there's consistency across the usage and everyone uses Asana the same way. If you establish these 3 points, then I guarantee you that your team will adopt Asana because it's fun to use. And if you create a task, assign it to someone else will reply, you see the inbox message, you will have a conversation and progress going on, so the projects and the tasks will move in the right direction, and you finally manage the project on the due date. So that's really important. If you want to learn more, if you want to see the best cases, some examples, reach out to me and my team. We're really happy to help you and get you back on track with Asana.